بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم أما بعد. Today inshallah we're going to talk about things advisable to do during Ramadan. Some practices that we have to, it's good to do them throughout the year, but especially in Ramadan we should make an effort to make them more, to put them into practice more intensively. According to Imam Malik, to make intention the night that precedes the first day of Ramadan is enough for the rest of the month, although it's recommended to renew that intention every night. And this is providing there is no interruption during the fast of Ramadan. But if there is an interruption because of, for example, a woman that menstruates or gives birth a baby, or a traveler, or a person who gets ill and interrupts the fast on the basis of this valid pretext and then starts again, then he has to again make intention and renew his intention. Another advisable thing is to delay the sahur. As we know, we can eat up to the time of Fajr. When Fajr starts, it is haram to eat. And if a person eats, then he intentionally he has to make up that day and expiate. But up to that point, it is halal to eat. Nevertheless, the Prophet ﷺ used to stop eating before Fajr an amount of time in which approximately 50 ayats could be recited, which we can probably consider as between 10 and 15 minutes. To pray the Salat as-subh in its time. Now, this is something that we have to do every day, to pray the Salah in its time. But we know many people are lazy and they only wake up to pray subh when they wake up in the morning, far after its time. Now in Ramadan, we should make a strong intention of waking up in order to pray the prayer of subh in its proper time, which is between Fajr and Shuruq, between dawn and sunrise. To do dhikr, not only the prayer, spend more time after the prayer doing some dhikr. Another thing advisable is to do the nawafil, the recommended prayers that are normally done before dhuhr and after dhuhr for 2 rakats, before asr for 2 rakats, after maghrib up to 6 rakats, etc. So if we don't have the habit to do it, let's make this habit ours now. Let's make this habit our habit now in Ramadan. Tarawih, to do the prayer of Tarawih. If we are not able to go to the mosque, then we can do them at home. And if we haven't memorized a lot of Quran, we just recite what we know. We can do 20 rakats, we can do 36 rakats, we can do 8 rakats, whatever. But let's do something. It's also permitted in other madhabs, in the Maliki madhab, to hold the copy of the Mus'haf and to read from it, if you want to do the whole of the Quran. So you can hold the copy of the Quran, the Mus'haf, and recite a juz every night if you want. This is allowed in the Maliki madhab and other madhabs. Some other madhabs I believe the Hanafi does not allow it. Another practice is to give sadaqah and to give charity during Ramadan, and if we have the habit to do that, increase it during this month. Another thing that is praiseworthy in Ramadan is to feed a person who was fasting. To feed a person who was fasting, you can do it by inviting a person to your home, or even bring the food to the mosque and feed these people who have been the whole day fasting. This has a great reward. The recitation of the Quran, to recite the Quran more. If we don't have the habit to do it, and if we do have it, to recite more than we normally recite. Another practice as well, whoever has memorized something of the Quran, to revise it during this month and even increase the amount of what he has memorized. Another practice as well is to control our tongue and to be careful with what we say during Ramadan. We have to do it throughout the year, all the time, but especially in Ramadan we have to be especially careful. Another element is to pray in the mosque, the obligatory prayers, as much as we are able. Another one is to make profuse supplication, dua, during this month for yourself, for your beloved ones, and for all the Muslims, and even for the non-Muslims, so Allah guides them to the truth. Another praiseworthy action is to keep the wudu, to try to stay in wudu. If we break a wudu, to do it again as soon as possible, so we are in wudu during the day and during the night. Another praiseworthy action is i'tikaf, or which is normally the practice the last 10 days of Ramadan, and it's normally done in the mosque, where a person retires himself or herself to the mosque and spends the time in prayer and doing remembrance of Allah, dhikr, and abundantly and reciting a lot of the Quran and abundant salat ala nabi during that retirement. Another important practice during Ramadan is not to waste the time watching TV and any kind of waste of time, whether it's watching TV or playing with a computer or anything, browsing the net or anything that is of no benefit for our deen nor for our dunya. Cut down on that. Spend the time either doing your work that is going to benefit you in this life, or spend the time doing dhikr, reciting the Quran, doing extra supererogatory acts of worship. This is a list of actions and practices that is strongly advisable to put them into action and into practice during the day of Ramadan. May Allah give us ease to put this into practice and to bless us during this month. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.